SnapToCover tutorial.
Hey everyone, Mercs from SnapToCover.com. What I'd like to do today is something a little different than we've seen. A lot of times ourselves, we review the cons individually, and Beast of War and other sites that look at things, they tend to do the same thing. What I'd like to do is at this point take a look at a certain type of model. For instance, today I'm going to focus on the leaders of all the megacons, analyze them with a certain criteria, and then at the end, my personal opinion of how I feel they rate from 1 through 8. So what I did to base some type of statistics, I wanted to have something to go by, is I broke them down into these categories. I got maneuverability, so how well they perform on the field, how they can get around things, and how quick they might be. The personal ability of each leader. The armor and the failure values is another area. And the last criteria is FN, courage, and repair rolls. This is how they will actually perform on the battlefield from a shooting perspective to a repairing broken armor perspective and from their courage values. So if we take a look, and I'm only going to go through a few of these, and like I said, my main goal here in about 5 minutes is to present you with some data, and then I'm going to give you my recommendations as to how I feel they listed out. So from a maneuverability perspective, my top two in this field would be the FCC Housemaster and the ISS Leader. I'll go into why a little bit later. The next ones that we have would be armor and armor failure. And my two favorites in this category, or three actually, would be the CCC Leader, the ISS Leader, and the USCR Leader. Last category is FN, courage, and repair rolls. The ones that came out on top in this category would be the FCC Housemaster. Again, I would probably put the CCC Leader in there. And I also had to put in the Cephadu. With his low repair and his low courage number, that certainly brought him up the chart. So, after looking at the statistics that I ran through, and again, this is just how they fanned out for me, stat-wise, I'm going to run through the order from 1 through 8. Statistical-wise, I got it down where I think the FCC Housemaster is probably the most versatile leader you could take, followed by the Texaco Leader, CCC, ISS, Cephadu, Waza, USCR, and Kemvar rounding out the bottom. So what I did after I compiled just some quick numbers, and what I did is I basically just gave each model between a 1 and a 5 in different categories. Kind of averaged it out to give me, middle of the road I gave a 3. If I felt they were above the top in a certain area, I gave them a 5. If I felt they were below a certain area, such as the USCR Leader when it comes to movability, I would give them a 1. So I averaged this all out, and when I look at the statistics and complementary personal abilities and corporate abilities, I tweaked them a little bit, and here would be my recommendations. Again, the FCC Housemaster is a very maneuverable unit, great courage, great repair, and also offers that big sweep. So from all the leaders, to me, the FCC Housemaster comes out on top. I had to switch the next two around a little because, which is the CCC Leader, I think would be my number 2. He has the best armor failure in the game. His armor failure is a 2+. To me, that edges out the Texaco Leader by just a little, and Texaco would be my third one. So the reason why I took the ISS Leader and made him number 4 in my list, even though he only has 1 MP, he does have speedy. He has a very good courage and a very good repair roll. He has armor value 3. And that would probably be the reason why I would throw him up on the top, to number 4 anyways. He also gets +4 reaction versus melee. So unlike some of the other leaders, and you've heard me talk about Kenvar in the past, they're not melee-centric at all. I'm not really saying this guy's melee-centric, but he certainly is going to survive when he gets up in your face. And he is going to be a threat. He does have a machine pistol, so he's somebody you have to look after. I think he can get there, even though he has an MP of 1, he certainly can bind, and he's going to move along. And that's it. I mean, I just want to throw something a little bit different out there for you guys, give you some thoughts, think about things. Love to hear your feedback, either comment on the forums, comment on SnapToCover.com. Let us know what you think, and I hope you thought this was worth it.
SnapToCover tutorial.